The Eagles walked into MetLife as favorites, but walked out stunned. 34-17, the Giants literally exposed everything that's been silently cracking inside this team. Missed throws, red zone chaos, zero rhythm after halftime. Overall, it was ugly. Now everyone's talking. Jalen Hurts owned up, Nick Sirianni took the heat, and the locker rooms frustrated but fired up. Let's break down exactly what went wrong.
I take ownership for it. A lot of autonomy, a lot of opportunity there with the ball in my hands, and given those situations, I have to be wiser and more detailed with it. So always looking inward first, looking inward on the things that I can control. And, I see a lot of opportunity in this. I give a lot of credit to how they came out and played today. They played a very, very well game.
Jalen Hurts never tried to dodge questions. He said the loss came from poor execution and bad situational football. He also explained that the red zone interception was a misread. The safety rotated late, and he forced the throw instead of taking the check down. That mistake cost them momentum and points. Jalen admitted missing DeVonta Smith on a wide-open route and said the ball came out flat when it should have had air. That play summed up their night, which was all about open looks, missed timing, and absolutely zero finish. Hurts said the offense failed on third downs because protections and routes never synced. The Giants disguised coverage as well, shifting into tight man after showing zone. That trapped receivers and pushed him into late throws. He didn't mention play calling or blame pressure. Instead, he acknowledged the need for fixing the reads, getting back to rhythm, and finishing drives. That honesty says more than any stat line, doesn't it?
What happened on the interception?
Bad ball. Bad ball.
You said autonomy.
I'm sorry? It means, the autonomy, the ownership and everything that I have given, taking advantage of that and, taking ownership of it and leading with it in the right way, going out there and executing. And I didn't execute well enough, situationally, and obviously can't turn the ball over in the red zone.
Nick Sirianni didn't defend the performance either. He said the team wasn't sharp and the issues began with execution, not play design. He pointed to missed assignments on third downs. The Giants converted 9 of their first 13. That pushed the defense to stay on field, drained energy, and broke structure. He said those plays weren't about schemes. Players were in position, but late to react. On offense, Sirianni said drives stalled because of sloppy detail. Motion timing, spacing, and protection calls were inconsistent. The offense moved well between the 20s, but broke down once coverage tightened. He mentioned miscommunication on route depth. One adjustment missed can collapse an entire read sequence.
Get up. We're going to take some time off and just get up and keep fighting. Got a lot of things to fix. Been here before. Let's go.
Do you think the offense has gotten too predictable at times, especially in the run game?
Obviously, anytime, I think there were some good moments in the run game today. Got ourselves behind the sticks a little bit in the second half on some of the runs there.
Asked about adjustments, he said the halftime plan didn't translate. They wanted to attack the edges, but penalties and negative runs killed the rhythm. While he never blamed effort, he blamed discipline. Sirianni also addressed leadership. He said the message to the team is, get up and keep fighting. He closed by stressing consistency. One clean series followed by 3 disjointed ones doesn't win road games. The tape, he said, showed too many players operating a half step out of sync. That's what he called the real problem. Inside the locker room, players weren't shouting, but the disappointment was evident. Lane Johnson said communication wasn't crisp. He mentioned protection calls came in late against the Giants' shifting fronts. The tackles had to guess snap counts, and that caused early pressure on Hurts. That's rare for a veteran line, and it showed how off-sync the offense was.
Make some stuff happen and trust the guys up front. I still believe we got the best offensive line in the National Football League.
How much does it factor in that you don't have Landon out there?
Sorry, those first 2 runs that were successful, did you guys go back to?
Yeah, we went back to, I think maybe both. But again, they adjusted, they made a play. Brian, quick as hell, made a really good move and made tackling the backfield.
Dallas Goedert talked about missed opportunities in the middle zones. He said linebackers from New York sat exactly where we threw it. His point was recognition that film study didn't match real game disguises. Jay Brown's answer was brief. He said the offense still lacked identity. When asked what that meant, he said, drives feel reactionary, not designed with rhythm. That's a precise diagnosis, because usually the unit moved fast when forced, but stalled when scripting mattered. On defense, Cooper DeJean said tackling angles were lazy. He explained that early in the third quarter, the unit overran run fits, leaving cutback lanes wide. That matched what the tape showed. Cam Scatterbo's third touchdown came from the backside open lane that wasn't sealed. Linebacker Jihad Campbell admitted the defense struggled to communicate once the Giants went up tempo. He said the calls didn't travel cleanly from the sideline to the secondary. That's how they gave up 2 easy conversions on 3rd and long. None of them blamed fatigue. Every quote circled back to focus, timing, and details. Players weren't angry at coaches or schemes, but indeed were frustrated at how basic errors repeated drive after drive. Overall, that locker room sounded aware that the tape would confirm that it was a self-inflicted loss.
I know Sunday's loss hurt, but to hear you guys speaking, it seems like this one may hurt even more.
Yeah, I mean, any loss hurts. You know, especially in division opponent. Nobody likes to lose. I mean, especially when you haven't done it a whole lot in the past year and a half, however long. Yeah, what?
I think they converted 11 of 15 third downs.
The numbers match what the players said. The Eagles converted 1 of 9 third downs, while the Giants converted more than half. That gap decided possession and fatigue. The first issue appears before the snap-on film. The Eagles struggled with late motion recognition. New York moved tight ends and backs constantly, encouraging linebackers to reset calls. By the time the ball was snapped, alignment was half a step off. That turned short yardage plays into easy conversions. The second issue was red zone discipline. On Hurts' interception, the Giants dropped an extra safety and showed pressure from the edge. The throw came a beat early. The receiver never turned, and the ball hit the defender in stride. That wasn't pressure, it was misread coverage. Protection also fell apart. Hurts was sacked 3 times, but the pressure rate was far higher. Giants defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence collapsed the pocket repeatedly. The guards lost leverage, pushing Hurts to roll into unplanned movement. Those scrambles made the route structure messy. The running game also lacked consistency. Designed inside zones gained yards early, but disappeared once the Giants loaded the box. After halftime, the Eagles ran 6 times for a total of 12 yards. Without balance, play action was dead. Defensively, the breakdowns were predictable. The Giants ran stretch plays until Philadelphia overcommitted, then cut back through the middle. Linebackers lost gap discipline, and safeties filled late. Cam Scatterbo scored 3 touchdowns through those same channels. Each one followed missed tackles near the line. The Giants' rookie quarterback, Jackson Dart, controlled tempo. Quick throws neutralized the pass rush. Screens and slants punished soft coverage. Every completion chipped away at defensive patience. In the second half, the Eagles never forced a punt until the game was already out of reach. Their offense had 6 drives, all ending without points. That imbalance kept the defense exposed for nearly 2/3 of total game time. Stat sheets confirmed that New York won first downs 27-15, time of possession 35-25, and total plays 70-25-51. Those are indicators of structural disconnection between offense and defense. The press conferences and locker room comments match what the film exposed. Hurts said decision-making failed in tight windows. The film shows late reads and missed leverage recognition on short routes. The problem wasn't talent but tempo. His first progression often froze because pre-snap motion didn't trigger quick identification. The ball came out half a second too late, and the Giants used that delay to close gaps. Sirianni's concern about discipline shows up in protection tape. Offensive linemen turn their shoulders early against stunts. When that happens, defenders gain definitive inside paths. Hurts' escape lanes narrowed, pushing off-platform throws that lost accuracy. The scheme was solid indeed. However, the execution was severely fractured. A Jay Brown's comment about identity fits the offensive flowchart. Early drives were scripted and efficient. Once the Giants adjusted, the Eagles had no sustained counter. There was no established rhythm between short, intermediate, and deep routes. The play calling alternated instead of building. On defense, DeJean and Campbell's comments about communication mirror specific breakdowns. Several third down conversions occurred because linebackers dropped into shallow zones while safeties rotated wide. That created seams the Giants attacked all night. Those mismatches were psychological. Lane Johnson's frustration with communication syncs with those same errors. Audible calls came late, especially in hostile crowd noise. The offense looked reactive instead of proactive. That single factor separated both lines. One adjusted before the snap, the other after. Across all levels, quarterback reads, line calls, and coverage signals, timing fractured. Each side of the ball suffered from the same core issue, delayed recognition. Hurts' calm tone and Sirianni's insistence on detail, followed by the locker room's acceptance of fault form a consistent story. They all saw the same breakdown from different vantage points. The footage backs them. The Eagles lost structure, which can be repaired if accountability remains intact. According to analysts and insiders, the Eagles' problems are not philosophical. The first correction, according to reviewers, involves pre-snap identification. Defenses have started disguising coverages late because Hurts tends to commit early. The team is being advised to shift to more motion-based reads, forcing defenders to declare alignment before the snap. That single change could reduce stalled drives.
I get it, a couple defensive ends and Nolan Smith are gone. It does not matter. I get it, Quinyon Mitchell didn't play. But Keely Ringo was getting targeted all night long. Whatever you like, he do for you. He was getting targeted all night long. Adoree Jackson, he was getting taken to the woodshed. And that was the worst game I've seen Zach Bond play ever. Jackson Dart made Zach Bond look like a freshman in college.
Offensive structure also needs rhythm. The Eagles' drive sequencing has become reactive. They open strong, then drift into predictable patterns once defenses settle. Analysts suggest scripting deeper into the second quarter to maintain control of tempo. That means longer pre-planned sequences, not just the first 15 plays. Protection is another focus. The Giants exposed slow communication in the interior line. Adjusting snap cadence and sliding protection toward movement-heavy fronts can stabilize the pocket. Without that, Hurts continues throwing under duress. The run game needs a more transparent purpose. Reviewers note that the offense treats runs as balance tools. When every run call is reactionary, the defense stops respecting it. Using heavier personnel and moving to power formations could reestablish inside control and open play action lanes. On defense, analysts pinpoint gap integrity as the core failure. The Giants kept running wide until Philadelphia's edges bit. Once that happened, they cut back through open space. Ends chased motion instead of holding their lanes. That's how Scatterbo kept finding daylight inside. Coaches know the cure lies in trusting the assignment and letting the play come to you.
Ineffective offense, and they just took it to the Eagles. And they were the aggressor on both sides of the ball. They were the more physical team. They were the more confident team. They were the team with swagger. If you watched this game and didn't know who won the Super Bowl 8 months ago, you would have said, "Oh, Giants." They were the better team in every respect. And once again, I mean, the same problems are showing up for this team, this Eagles team, in their inability to put together a 60-minute game.
On coverage, breakdowns weren't structural, but late. Linebackers turned their hips before safeties rotated. That half-second mismatch created seams on third downs. Analysts say simplifying the communication tree with fewer conditional checks and faster calls may help. Some also mention conditioning. The Eagles' defensive front played extended series without rotation, and fatigue compounded mistakes. More rotation, especially during long drives, could sustain pressure and reduce missed tackles. Sirianni's biggest test lies in adaptability from a coaching standpoint. In-game recalibration is required. Once a defense adapts, Philadelphia often hesitates before responding. Given that context, faster sideline corrections and tighter halftime restructuring can prevent snowball sequences like the one against New York. Notably, Hurts's accountability and Sirianni's direct messaging have support from analysts and fans. They say this foundation prevents emotional collapse after losses. What matters now is a sharp translation, turning awareness into precision. In upcoming games, progress will be measured through data. Third down conversion rate, red zone efficiency, sack avoidance, and time of possession will reveal whether corrections hold. Have you caught something different in that game? If yes, drop it below in the comments. Hit subscribe for more breakdowns straight from voices that actually know the field.